For many, the life of OJ Simpson was one of an American sporting hero turned global villain. Now that life, though some Americans saw it differently, has ended at the age of 76. He had prostate cancer. You don't have to remember the 1990s to understand his spectacular downfall. He was American football's biggest star before making it big in movies too. But his undoing was a crime and court drama that even Hollywood's finest could not have made believable. Simpson was accused of stabbing to death his ex-wife and her friend. Millions, perhaps billions, watched around the world, first as he was pursued in a car chase and a year later as he was sensationally and controversially cleared. His was a case where individual human vice collided with issues of race, domestic violence and a large element of celebrity.
It was hyped as the trial of the century, and this was the moment which defined it. OJ Simpson trying on the bloodied glove recovered near the stabbed body of his wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend, Ron Goldman.
Remember these words. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
OJ Simpson had tried to evade the police as their investigation started, a televised car chase adding to the media frenzy. Onlookers cheering his white Ford Bronco as the former American football star tried to flee.
Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
OJ Simpson was sensationally acquitted of the murders. The reaction across America was visceral, broadly dividing along racial lines.
I think it's great. He deserves to go free. They had no evidence on him.
He was there and he did it. He's got to live with himself, that's all.
One of his lawyers told me the case exposed deep fault lines across the country.
This was probably the most watched trial on television, and it came at a time of deep, deep racial divisions in the country. And the trial put the racial divisions on trial, and the verdict produced divided reaction. Many African Americans thought this was payback time and this was good. Finally, you saw a black man acquitted. Many white people didn't understand the verdict.
He was clearly the best running back of the 70s.
OJ Simpson was considered one of the greatest American football players in the sport's history, propelling him to legendary status.
Nordberg, how you, buddy? Hey.
After he stopped playing, Hollywood embraced him with several film roles. But the legacy of his wife's murder remained with him long after he was acquitted. In 1997, he was sued by the family of Ron Goldman and found liable for wrongful death. He was ordered to pay $33 million in damages. He later wrote a book whose title raised new questions. But sales never raised enough to pay his debts, forcing him to sell sports memorabilia, which he then tried to steal back in a botched armed robbery for which he was jailed in 2008 for 33 years. At his parole hearing, he expressed profound regret.
I would give it all back to these guys. They can have it all to get these last 5 years back. Boy, what a beautiful day it is here in Las Vegas.
This was the last video he posted as he fought prostate cancer, an American sports hero whose fall from grace fascinated and divided the United States.
Well, Dan joins me now, and Dan, it is astounding all over again watching back that archive. Just put into context for us how huge this trial was for America and for much of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it totally rocked the nation. It was one of the key moments of the 1990s, fracturing this country into two camps, really. Those who thought OJ Simpson had been framed and those who thought he had literally got away with murder. And that division was encapsulated by one family, particularly the Kardashians. You remember Robert Kardashian was on OJ Simpson's defense team. His wife, Kris Jenner, was a close friend of the murdered Nicole Brown. Afterwards, years afterwards, Kim Kardashian said that the trial ripped apart their family, but it also propelled them into celebrity. The legacy of that verdict is still felt across this country more than 30 years later.
OK, Dan, from Washington, thank you very much.